Chris, and tonight we are on a location. We are on location, and we're going to go over these incredible stimulus checks for you. Look at this incredible look we have tonight. It's beautiful holiday Christmas stimulus checks for millions of Americans. How you got on them? I'm going to show you tonight how to get these big stimulus checks, $300,000 of checks the viewers are getting. We are starting the month of December tomorrow. Are you excited? I'm excited because brand new stimulus checks are being paid out to the viewership of the channel. They have gotten those stimulus checks in November. They're getting them in December. How many checks? How many months of checks? How do you get them? Who qualifies for the checks? Are they in my state? Are they in your state? I'm going to go over all these incredible details tonight. We are on location. It is shortly after about 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time in Los Angeles. We are on location for a lot of beautiful Christmas decor, and tonight we're going to go over all these incredible stimulus checks for you. You deserve them, you need them, and earlier today we learned a lot more of why you need to get these stimulus checks. That's coming up in this recording. In this recording, I'm going to go over the stimulus checks, how much, how many, when, where, how do you get them. Then I'm going to go over why you need to get them, how easy it is to get them, and everything you need to know. Plus, I'll be jumping in the live chat. I'll be answering your questions tonight about all these incredible stimulus checks. So get ready to ask those questions. We are on location and going over all those incredible details tonight for you. Big stimulus checks have been obtained by viewers of this channel, and these incredible stimulus checks started getting paid by viewers to viewers of this channel in March. In March, viewers of this channel said to me, "LA, can you find me some stimulus checks?" Why did they ask me to find stimulus checks? Because at the time, in February, I had said the U.S. economy was going into recession. Now, can you imagine me, this kid here in Los Angeles, told you that America is going into recession, and I said in February. And tonight, the saddest is that we are heading into recession. It's going to be very, very severe, and the real heart of it starting on January, February, March. So as soon as I recorded that, viewers said, "Find me some darn stimulus checks right away." And I did. And these incredible stimulus checks are huge. And tonight I'm going to go over these incredible stimulus checks for you. I'm going to go over the amount. I'm going to go over how to get it. I'm going to go over where they are. I'm going to go over how you qualify. I'm going to go over the ease of getting these incredible stimulus checks. And I'll tell you, and I'm answering your questions across the board. So whatever you have questions on, we are live on location. It is your beautiful holiday stimulus checks with the holiday decor as well. First, the amount. How much are these incredible stimulus checks? These stimulus checks are currently paying 18 months of monthly stimulus checks. 18 months of monthly stimulus checks. Let's let that marinate for a second, because Congress was talking originally about doing 6 months of checks. Viewers of this channel are now getting 18 months of stimulus checks. Isn't that insane? And the tree is gorgeous, isn't it? The tree is coming up pink in the camera, but it's really red in real life. So the viewers of this channel are currently getting 18 months of incredible stimulus checks. Number one, how much are these stimulus checks per month? They're getting about $2,000 to $3,000 stimulus checks per month. Wow, you're doing a great job. Now, how many checks are they getting? They're getting on average about 5 stimulus checks per month. 5 stimulus checks for 18 months is a lot of darn money. It really is. I mean, if you think about it, imagine how much money you are saving in 2022. Imagine how much money you're saving in 2023. Viewers of this channel have already got them. Viewers of them have already got them. And I'm going to show you how to get them in this recording. I'll be answering your questions. So if you have questions, jump in the live chat. 18 months of about 5 checks a month, about $2,000 to $3,000. The reason why LALATE exists is because you're not going to hear about this anywhere else. They rather cover Kim and Kanye's settlement divorce. Kim and Kanye's divorce settlement. They rather cover that. They don't care about you. I care about you. And that's why at 8 o'clock at Pacific Standard Time on a midweek, I'm going live on location. Because I care about you. I want you to get these checks. I'm giving a lot of tough love in this recording tonight, and that tough love comes from the deep in the heart, because I want you to make sure you get these checks right away. Ultimately, if you put the effort in, you can put yourself ahead of everything else And that's why it's so important across the board. All right, so let's go back into the calculations of these incredible checks. The calculations of the incredible checks are huge. They are about 18 months of checks, number one. Number two, they're about $2,000 to $3,000 of checks per month. Number three, they are about 5 checks per month. What are the 5 checks? Your rent or your mortgage, all your utilities, and sometimes there's additional items. So imagine you're getting 5 stimulus checks per month, 5 stimulus checks per month over 18 months of stimulus checks. Now, how easy is this to do? Very, very easy. What do you need? A cell phone. And you're probably watching me on a cell phone right now. It's that straightforward. How quickly do you need to move? You need to move very quickly because the economy is going to get really bad very quickly. Number one. Number two, there's going to be more competition for the stimulus in just a short period of time. And that competition for that stimulus is going to be very, very robust as the economy gets really weak very quickly. So with that, let's go over where these stimulus checks are coming from. Where are these stimulus checks coming from? So these stimulus checks are coming from the federal government. Who's the federal government? Who is the federal government? The federal government is Congress, the President of the United States. So what I want to start by explaining to you is that when there's something passed by the federal government, it's for everyone. It's for everyone because you and I are part of the United States. And the United States is run by the federal government. So the federal government passes something for all of us. So here's an example. No need to ask me, is there a stimulus check for Tennessee? What about Alabama? What about Kentucky? You don't need to ask that. Why? Because the answer is yes. The answer is it's coming from the federal government. Let me explain what that means. It means that the application is run by the federal government, number one. Number two, it means that the federal government's paying for the money. Number three, it means that there's any questions about how you apply or the eligibility, it's all coming from the federal government. So going back to the example used, is there a stimulus check in Tennessee? Yes, but it's not sent by the state of Tennessee. It's sent by the federal government. The federal government sending it to you in Tennessee. And same thing with Alabama and Virginia and Washington State. It's not sent by your state. Why? Because your state doesn't have a lot of money. Your state does not have a lot of money. Your state does not have beautiful reefs like this. The state does not have beautiful trees like this. Your state does not have a lot of money. The city does not have a lot of money. It's coming from the federal government. And what's important to understand is how this money is so huge and where the money is coming from. Number two, the next thing to understand is don't use reference points as the reason for you to apply checks. So if your friend or neighbor doesn't know about it, well, that's not a reason for you to not to apply for stimulus checks. If you haven't heard on the local news, that's not a reason not to apply for stimulus checks. If you haven't seen the local newspaper, it's not a reason to apply for stimulus checks. Local news stations are run with a limited budget. In some cases, they're affiliates of national organizations. And they don't care about you. So they put no research into finding these checks. They'll cover the story that they think is going to deliver them the ratings. The story that that delivers the ratings is featuring Kim and Kanye and all that sort of stuff on a regular basis. They never told you how to apply for any of the stimulus in the first place. And if they ever cover stimulus, they're like, oh, by the way, a check's in the mail. That doesn't really help anyone. These checks are huge amounts of money, tens of thousands of dollars. And so now let's understand where you get these checks. Where do you get these checks? You get these checks by going on this video, becoming a member, number one. Number two, applying for these incredible checks. Number three, moving very quickly. Number four, watching all the videos or at least one video per day and understand the trajectory. Now, ultimately, all I can do is record a video. All I can do is record a video. If you don't put the effort to apply for those incredible checks, that's up to you. I'm not on the other side of the camera, so I can't get your fingers to move. I can't get you to get that pen to apply. I can't get you to go to that cell phone and start applying for checks. I can't do that. And if you don't want to do it, then you don't want to do it. But if you don't apply for checks and you feel the hurt of this economy in February or March, that's all upon you. That's all upon you. And so ultimately, this is why the tough love came in really strong tonight on Eaton's LA, because the new economic indicators tonight validate what I've been telling you for a while on this channel. Let's go a little bit more on location. So earlier this year, I had told you that the U.S. economy would feel real hurt of a recession starting in January and February of next year. That real hurt of the recession is actually amazing. The real hurt of that recession is just 60 days away. Now, when I told you that the real hurt of the recession started in January, February, I was alone. When I told you that the U.S. economy is going to recession starting January, February, I was alone. I was on an island of one because no one believed me. Economists disputed me. And what did they say? At the time, in February, I said we're going to recession for 2 years starting in January 2023. Number two, I said the U.S. stock market's going to go down 50%. Number three, I said labor is going to fall apart. People are going to lose their jobs. Number four, I said that money's going to dry up. Now, let's remember what you and I endured in just a short period of time. Over the last few months, we had all these analysts on Wall Street saying that stock market is great, buy. I said, don't buy. We're rallying up, buy. I said, don't buy. We also had those analysts telling you that maybe it's not a recession, maybe it's just a cooling off, labor market's really strong. Folks, it's December 1 tomorrow. Guess what has happened? Everything I have told you has now happened. And I'm not saying this as to toot my horn. I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back. I'm just telling you, I gave you the warning signals. And tonight, all the analysts are confirming my warning signals. Let's go over the warning signals they're confirming. I'm going to swap back to the tree because the tree is much nicer than me. Here's the tree. If I can swap back. There we go. All right. So, number one, the analysts now agree that the U.S. economy will endure a very, very hard, fast drop of its economy starting in January for at least 3 months. They all agree now. Number two, they agree that labor is going to fall apart. How much is going to fall apart? Let me give you the reference point. Current unemployment rate in the United States is about 2-3%. They believe it's going to jump up to 5% in a short period of time. Can you imagine that you're going from a 2 to 5% unemployment rate in just 2 months? I mean, that is quite austere. Number three, they believe cash is going to run out. They believe American savings have been depleted. They have run too much credit card debt up. And they believe they're not really ready for what's going to be coming up next. Number five, today the markets were up substantially. The markets were up about 700 points on the news that Jay Powell and at the Brookings Institute said that, and he's head of the Federal Reserve, said that it's more sensible to do a 50 basis point increase in 2 weeks at the Federal Reserve meeting in December. Markets went up 700 points. That's absurd. It's absurd the markets went up 700 points based upon something you and I already knew, because I have been only telling you for 2 months that he's going to do 50 basis points. It's absurd that anyone would celebrate 50 basis points, because 50 basis points is still austere. Moreover, it's absurd to even celebrate 50 basis points as though that's sort of the end of the equation. It's not the end of the equation. So let's go over where we're heading on this across the board. We're heading on this is, number one, interest rates are going to be unaffordable. Mortgage rates will be out of control. You won't be able to buy or sell a home. Number two, you won't be able to hold or buy a car on a car loan. If you bought a car last year, you're in big trouble because that car loan will be unaffordable. If you want to buy a car, you won't be able to. If you are exposed to anything in the auto industry, like auto parts or auto repair, you're gonna really see a downturn of the economy. Number three, tonight we learned a lot about labor. I saw it. Look how tall it is. We saw it on Eaton's LA. Tonight I said, and I said it with a little bit of an attitude, and so I apologize if it was a little bit of an attitude, but it's also coming from the heart. All those people and you know who they are. Earlier this year that said, oh, it's hard to get workers, so if you don't pay me my salary, I'm just going to quit and I'll just take another job and I don't need to show up because I have 5 other jobs lined up. All that chip on the shoulder, those people are going to have a big, rude awakening come February. They're all going to be laid off. There's not going to be a replacement job. No one is going to pay the salary demands that the workers have been trying to escalate up to. And it's going to be a very, very rude awakening. Layoffs are going to happen. They already started. Hiring freeze is going to happen. And so all this compounds back into the notion of what we're talking about early in this recording. Getting a stimulus check. All right, so you just joined me 15 minutes of this video. Let me go over these stimulus checks right now. These stimulus checks are huge, folks. These are not $600 stimulus checks. They're not $1,000. They're not $1,200. They're over $100,000 a lot of the time. Over $200,000 many times. And at least $40,000, $50,000, $67,000. How much are viewers of this channel getting? They're getting on average about 18 months, number one, of stimulus checks. Number two, they're getting about a beautiful 4, 5, 6 checks per month. There's Gail in the live chat, and there is Dragon, and there's Diane, and there's Terry Rose, and there's Gail. For some reason, I could not see the live chat until I pressed the button. Now I can see the live chat. And there's Anne, and there's Terry Rose again, and there's Anne, and there's Dragon, and there's Terry Rose again. And there's Diane. Oh my goodness, there was a lot of chats, and I just missed them all. I don't know what happened. The YouTube settings are very strange. Like, I did not click a button, so I saw no one chatting. I thought I was just talking with myself. I thought I was just chatting with myself. Yeah, that is a tall tree, says Anne. Hello from Cornelia, Georgia, says Denise. And Dragon says, thank you so much for this. So if you join me late, this time tonight we actually did a walk around. So we are in a walk around. Look at these. Aren't these gorgeous? So Anne, what type of flowers are these? Let's go in zoom on the flowers. What type of flowers are these? These are pretty amazing. I think gorgeous. You got a red and a white with the lights on there and up there. We're listening in. And 2 service dogs are barking and everything. Where is this, LA? So this is near the beach. This is near the beach. This is in Fantasyland. It's a clicamen. Oh, clicamen. It's sort of like the impatient family. Clicamen. I'm just butchering that. I'm just totally butchering that. You are awesome. I've been watching from the very beginning, dude. Thank you, Denise. I appreciate that. So let's recap those stimulus checks for a lot of you that just joined the chat late in tonight. The stimulus checks that viewers are getting right now is 18 months, number one, of stimulus checks, number two, on a monthly basis. And how many checks are they getting per month? They are getting about 4 or 5 checks per month. And those 4 or 5 stimulus checks over 18 months adds up to about 80 to 100 checks. How much are these checks per month? They're about $2,000 to $3,000 of stimulus checks per month. $2,000 to $3,000 stimulus checks per month is a lot of money. So how much are viewers sitting on? They're sitting on $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 on an average. A lot of viewers have gotten over $100,000. Some viewers have gotten nearly $200,000. They're for you, and oh my God, isn't that enormous? Look at that compared to. So you see me in the light. You see me in the. That is a little bit interesting. Dragon says that symbols help so many people. I'm going to climb that tree, says Anne. This is peculiar. I'm recording myself in the ornament of the Christmas tree. Yes, that's just like next level. Oh, there I am again. I am in the ornament of the tree. Now you can see me a little bit better, so you can see how basic this recording is. Yes, I can see you, says Gail. This is a big ornament. It's a big ornament. big is that darn ornament? Let's swap it around. That's really strange. Recording yourself in the ornament. How big is that ornament? Is the ornament bigger than my head? I don't know. Uh, yeah, how are you? Look how big that ornament is. Uh, Allied is in the ornament. It's just, and suddenly the views of the video went up. I just saw we were only at 16 people in the video. Now we're in 20 people in the video. Because, once I went into the ornament, everything just, took off. My goodness. Yeah, I mean, this is this is really peculiar. So interesting filming. Come back, Ellie. And Denise. Yeah, I am in the ornament. Let's pull back a little bit. So I am in the ornament recording myself. You could put yourself under the tree as a present. Says ants has come back. This is very peculiar. Yeah, this is very, this is very interesting. What is this, cinema verte? What is this, chiaroscuro? What type of artistic filming is this? This is like Dr. Seuss. And this is why the live shows are a lot of fun, because they're totally random, and I did not expect to be in an ornament. Hi, Anne. Hi, Anne. Hi, Dragon. Hi, Gail. Hey, Polo. How are you? There's there's LALATE in the ornament. It's just a little bit peculiar. I don't know. You have to have a thick skin to record yourself in an ornament with a cell phone. you know. Let's. Oh, this looks like the Mitch ball. Doesn't that look like the Mitch ball? That really looks like a miniature Mitch ball to me. Of course, I have the bigger Mitch ball, but to see, by perspective, my hand, so it is quite small. But I have the. That's sort of a pretty ornament. I have the Mitch ball still on set. I want one of those on my tree. Yeah, the Mitch ball is in full demand across the country. Uh, it's just, from the LA Late in the Ornament Studio. Okay, so here we go. Oh, wow. So even on this one, earlier I had the most hysterical. Oh, this is a little bit clearer. So, oh, this is really weird. So if I turn it this way, um, or I turn it, I see. If I looked away from the ornament, then if I don't look into the camera, then you can see me better. This is really peculiar. So this way, if I shoot up, you can see me. So if I don't look in the camera, you can see me a little bit better because you're looking at the ornament. You're looking at the ornament. I'm not looking at the camera. I'm looking at the ornament. Yeah. Oh, and now there I am. There I'm looking. It's just very. We need an official L8 ornament. It looks like L8's actually in the ornament. It does. It really looks like I am in the ornament. So the this is very, very peculiar. It's very, what it reminds me of. Make sure I get it on the ornament because this is okay. So, what it reminds me of? It reminds me of CNC Music Factory. Anne's gonna look this up as soon as I say it, although she may remember it. CNC Music Factory, which is a group from the '80s, and they had a clip where they're dancing like this, and it's sort of where the camera is tied in, and so it makes you look larger. So this sort of feels like it's not like snow globe. LA has now become a snow globe. You could put me in the snow globe. There's a Doja Cat video like this for Anne as well. There's a Doja Cat video where Doja Cat captures a guy and puts him in a snow globe. I kid you not, that is actually what's in the Doja Cat video, where Doja Cat, the pop singer, captures a guy and puts him in a snow globe. So, if you want inspiration about how to capture me and put me in a snow globe for perpetual use, you can watch the Doja Cat video as a reference point. I want one of those for my tree, says Gail. Gail wants to put me in a snow globe and put me on a tree. And then there's that person that says, I don't want to hear about the darn ornaments. I just want to know when I'm getting a stimulus check. Like, what is this video about? I don't want to hear about darn ornaments. I just want to know when I'm getting a stimulus check. And what's a snow globe? I don't care about snow globes. It's just, it's actually quite difficult making sure that the camera is on the ornament, but I'm not looking at the ornament. It's really weird because there's one here, and there's one there, and there's one here. So it's like I'm I'm literally in a lot of ornaments right at the very moment. Zucchini boat to Globe Land. That's the funniest line of the week, says from Anne. Zucchini boat to Globe Land. to snow globe land. Oh my goodness. That is so strange. It is really strange. It's, I am memorialized there, and I'm memorialized here, and I'm memorialized there. I don't think I really want this. I did not go dressed appropriately to be memorialized in a slow club tonight. Earlier tonight, I was in the first establishment, which is actually on the other side of the street, and I took a photo of myself, and I thought, my God, you look like the Hillside Strangler in that outfit. I thought, my God, you look like a Hillside Strangler. It was a really close-up shot. Um, I don't normally wear this hat, and I'm not quite sure how you're supposed to wear the hat. But I thought, oh boy, you look like you're on the America's Most Wanted list with that, with that hat. But then I went to another establishment, and the line is better. So I guess I went from America's Top Most Wanted fugitive to fashion statement. It was just really bad lighting. Who would have known? You get bad lighting, and then suddenly things change across the board. And there's the Mitch ball. And there's the Mitch ball. There's just lots of Mitch balls, tiny ones. Oh, wow. Look at that ornament. Okay, that ornament's really big. That ornament is just really, really big. If you thought the ornaments before, like this one, was big, wait till you see that ornament. My God, I mean, where did they get these things? And yeah, it's a big tree. It's a big, big tree. So, join me tomorrow. I will be live on air at 9 a.m. We'll have a lot of fun. Big stimulus to millions of Americans. Tell your friends and family to come on over. I have no idea what this thing does. Oh, I guess it's to support the tree. I thought it was part of the decorations. Looks like the trees are in the ornaments. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that is actually. Is that amazing, Dragon? That is this tree and that tree in the ornament. Isn't that amazing? Wow. I mean, who else is going to go through this effort for you? Is Mitch going to do this? Mitch is not putting himself in an ornament. It's so fun and festive. It's very, very unusual. I don't think anyone has noticed this. I'm the only one here, actually, so I don't think anyone has cared to look. Yeah, Hillside Strangler to festive ornament decorator tonight. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful night, and stay with LA for more.